There are places in the world where nature still rules, far beyond roads, cities, and the noise of modern life. Ancient forests continue to thrive exactly as they have for centuries. Towering trees stretch toward the sky, morning mist drifts silently between their trunks, and every sound belongs to the wilderness. Hidden deep within this untouched landscape stands something truly extraordinary, an enormous dead tree that has survived countless storms, changing seasons, and the passage of time. Most people would see only an old tree, but today, I see something entirely different. I see the opportunity to create a home in one of the most unique natural shelters imaginable. As I make my way through the dense forest, the giant tree slowly reveals itself above the surrounding canopy. Standing nearly 35 meters tall with a massive hollow trunk, it dominates the landscape like a silent monument. Every step closer makes its incredible size even more impressive. The bark is deeply weathered, covered with moss, lichens, and climbing vines that have slowly reclaimed its surface over decades. Looking up from the base, the tree seems to disappear into the sky. It's difficult to believe that something so old is still standing with such strength. Before building anything, the first priority is making sure the tree is safe. A shelter is only useful if it can provide protection, so I begin carefully inspecting every part of the hollow trunk. I slowly walk through the entrance and shine my flashlight across the towering interior walls. Sunlight streams through small natural openings high above, creating dramatic beams of light that illuminate floating dust particles. The inside is far larger than I imagined. Deep cracks, ancient wood grain, hanging roots, patches of moss, and centuries of weathering cover every surface. I gently place my hands against the bark, feeling its rough texture while carefully examining its condition. The structure appears remarkably solid, and the interior offers more than enough space to create a comfortable shelter. To better understand the available space, I stretch a measuring tape across the enormous trunk, carefully recording its dimensions. Walking from one side to the other, I begin imagining where everything will go. A raised bed along one wall, shelves for supplies, a work area near the entrance, and enough open space to move comfortably. The possibilities become clearer with every measurement. After one final inspection, I know I've found the perfect place to build my wilderness home. Now the real work begins. Building in the wilderness isn't about taking from nature. It's about working with what nature has already provided. I leave every living tree untouched, collecting only fallen branches, weathered logs, bark slabs, vines, moss, and other natural materials scattered across the forest floor. Every trip requires patience and effort. The terrain is uneven, the materials are heavy, and the shelter slowly begins to take shape one piece at a time. Back inside the hollow tree, I begin by clearing the floor. Leaves, loose bark, fallen twigs, and years of natural debris are carefully swept away until the ground is clean and level. Sunlight filters down from above while tiny dust particles dance through the warm beams of light. With a clean workspace prepared, construction can finally begin. The first priority is building a raised wooden floor. Moisture from the ground can quickly make any shelter uncomfortable, so lifting the living area above the earth is essential. Thick fallen logs form the main supports, while smaller branches weave together to create a sturdy framework. Flat sections of bark are carefully arranged on top, creating a solid walking surface. Piece by piece, the empty hollow begins transforming into something that feels more like a home. Next comes the sleeping platform. Strong branches provide the frame, while layers of soft moss, dry grass, and pine needles create a surprisingly comfortable natural mattress. After hours of construction, seeing the completed bed brings a real sense of accomplishment. It isn't luxurious by modern standards, but here in the wilderness, it offers exactly what I need: a warm, dry place to rest after each long day. Organization becomes just as important as construction. Simple shelves made from sturdy branches and bark keep my backpack, water bottle, lantern, cooking equipment, rope, notebook, and survival tools neatly arranged and easily accessible. Every item has its place, making daily life inside the shelter safer and far more efficient. To improve insulation, I carefully fill small gaps in the inner walls using dry moss, leaves, and bark. These natural materials help reduce drafts while preserving the tree's unique character. Finally, I weave together fallen branches and flexible vines to create a rustic entrance that offers protection from wind and rain without permanently altering the ancient tree. As I step back to admire the finished shelter, it's incredible to see how much has changed. What was once an empty, hollow trunk has become a comfortable wilderness home. The following morning, the forest awakens with the first rays of sunlight. Birds begin singing from the canopy above, while soft mist drifts across the forest floor. Opening the shelter entrance, I step outside and take in the cool morning air. In the wilderness, every day begins with simple routines that quickly become meaningful. A nearby stream provides fresh water. Crystal clear water flows over smooth rocks covered in moss as sunlight reflects across its surface. Filling my water bottle, I pause to appreciate the quiet rhythm of the forest. Everything here moves at its own pace, untouched by the rush of everyday life. As I continue exploring, I begin noticing signs of wildlife all around me. Fresh deer tracks press into the damp soil. Birds glide effortlessly between towering trees, and squirrels dart across fallen logs searching for food. In a nearby meadow, a small group of deer grazes peacefully in the morning light. I quietly observe them from a respectful distance, watching them disappear back into the forest without disturbance. Moments like these remind me that I am only a visitor here, sharing the landscape with countless other living creatures. The forest also provides an abundance of edible plants for those who know where to look. Carefully inspecting the ground, I gather edible mushrooms, wild berries, and aromatic herbs, placing each one into a woven basket. Every ingredient is collected responsibly, leaving plenty behind to support the surrounding ecosystem. As evening approaches, I prepare a small campfire just outside the shelter using dry fallen branches collected earlier in the day. Soon, warm flames dance beneath a cooking pot, while gentle smoke rises into the cool forest air. Over the fire, I prepare a hearty wilderness meal using the ingredients gathered during the day. Steam rises into the evening sky as the rich aroma fills the surrounding forest. After hours of work, even the simplest meal feels incredibly satisfying. With dinner ready, I carry it inside the shelter where the warm glow of a lantern illuminates the ancient bark walls. Sitting at my handcrafted wooden table, surrounded by the furniture and storage I built with my own hands, I enjoy a quiet meal while listening to the sounds of the forest outside. The shelter feels warm, secure, and welcoming, a remarkable transformation from the hollow tree I first discovered. As darkness settles over the forest, a gentle rain begins to fall. Water runs harmlessly down the outside of the giant trunk while the interior remains completely dry. The steady rhythm of raindrops echoes softly through the hollow walls, creating one of the most peaceful sounds in nature. Sitting beside the lantern, I reflect on everything this ancient tree has provided: shelter, comfort, and a deep connection to the wilderness. Eventually, I settle onto the moss-covered bed, the warm light slowly fading as the sounds of the rain lull me to sleep. Morning arrives with clear skies and brilliant golden sunlight filtering through the forest canopy. Dew sparkles across the leaves, birds fill the air with song, and fresh mist rises from the earth after the night's rain. Stepping outside, I take one last look at the shelter nestled inside the ancient tree. Just a few days ago, it was nothing more than an empty hollow. Now, it stands as a reminder of what patience, creativity, and respect for nature can accomplish. This experience has never been about conquering the wilderness. It has been about learning from it. Every fallen branch became a building material. Every sunrise brought a new opportunity. Every quiet moment revealed something remarkable about the natural world. The giant tree stood here long before I arrived, and long after I leave, it will continue standing as a silent witness to the passing of time. Its story continues, just as the forest continues to thrive around it. As I leave this incredible place behind, I carry with me more than memories. I leave with a renewed appreciation for nature's resilience, its beauty, and the simple truth that the greatest adventures often begin where the road ends.